everyone. Welcome to the program. I am Deji Badimasi. Another week, another drama in the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress. And once again, the whole show is centered around the party chairman, Adams Oshomole, and of course, the conduct of the party primaries around the country. It's been a well-documented fact that the APC chairman is having a running battle with some state governors, most notably the governors of Imo, Zamfara, and Ogun states. The battle stems from the conduct of the party primaries in those states, especially the choice of the governorship candidates. The party is also losing some of its members in the House of Representatives owing to the primaries, and of course, that is to be expected. Now, the conduct of the primaries has also led to calls for Oshomole's removal, but the crisis took another turn in the past week when it emerged that the former Edo State governor has been questioned by operatives of the Department of State Services, otherwise known as SSS. The report says Oshomole was detained for some hours and questioned over his role in some controversial primaries. The report also alleges that Oshomole allegedly took bribes from some candidates to influence the final outcome of the primaries. He was later released and is expected to be re-invited for questioning at a later date. Now, the report also suggests that President Muhammadu Buhari is aware of the allegations and gave the secret police the go-ahead to probe the chairman of the party, with a report to be submitted to him first before it is made public. For now, the governor of Ogun State, Ibukule Amosun, has denied involvement in the investigation, insisting he cannot order Oshomole's probe, though there's been no clarification on who filed a complaint. That's a complaint now against the party chairman. But it is the duty of the DSS to investigate corruption. And the question is it the duty of the DSS actually to investigate corruption allegations? Of course, the former Edo State governor and the current chairman of the party has dismissed all these into the reports now. He's denied that he was investigated by the DSS and has also denied that there's nothing against him. Joining me now to discuss this further is Liborous Oshoma, who is a lawyer and political analyst, and he joins us in the studio here. And in Abuja, I have OK Williams, who is an APC leader in Imo State. Let me start with you, OK Williams. What do you make of this drama we're beginning? I mean, the unraveling drama, if you like, with the position of the chairmanship of the party. I mean, the DSS inviting him for questioning.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. It's just very dramatic. And if you look at it clearly, I think this is my first time of seeing this kind of politics in Nigeria. Yes, you and I know or can actually fathom out where the problem is coming from. Is a fallout of the last primary election, conducted by the National Working Committee of our great party, APC. A lot of governors are not happy with the outcome, and of course, in party politics, we are supposed to play by the rules, and at the same time, be good sports people. But unfortunately, that is not happening. Especially the two governors you mentioned, Amosu and Rocha Sokorocha. And the truth of the matter is that since Amosu has denied being involved, I'll leave it to that point. I wouldn't want to discuss anything about him. But the second person we have constantly accused is Governor Rocha Sokorocha, who has, in fact, up till now, has never denied involvement. And of course, you know that silence to some extent means acceptance. And if you look at that, it is very clear that Oshomole is the national chairman of our great party today, majorly because of the role played by this same man, the governor of Imo State, Governor Rocha Sokorocha.
Absolutely.
And I'm surprised, same way a lot of party faithfuls are surprised, that at this juncture, just because his son-in-law was unable to be made the candidate of APC in Imo, Oshomole has just simply turned an enemy to the governor of Imo State. If you look at it clearly too, I don't really understand how this is playing out. The national chairman was invited by DSS, was drilled for some hours by DSS, And somebody keeps wondering whether what he committed was a national breach of peace. There's nothing like a national security breach involved in what Oshomole did. It's all about party politics. It's all about Wicks. It's all about. Before that primary was conducted, that particular primary was conducted, especially in Imo, there was an agreement reached. That everybody agreed that whatever the outcome was, that they will accept. I think the problem is that maybe the governor of Imo State has, maybe, I don't know why, probably he has done one or two things, that are unethical, and he felt that those things could give him victory, and eventually he never got the victory. And maybe he's also so scared of what will be the outcome if his son-in-law eventually does not emerge a candidate. I think that's where the issue lies at the moment. But the truth of the matter is that Oshomole has discharged his responsibility creditably. The party faithfuls are happy with him, what he has done in Imo and other states in the Federation. Very few elements, you could name them, we all know them, very few, not more than 4 people are angry. In a state of about, in a country of about 36 states, other governors are not complaining. It's only about 3 or 4 governors that are complaining. I think we'll give him well over 80% performance. He has done well, and we are strongly behind him.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you. Just hold on. Let me come to you, Liborous. Are you not surprised, or does it surprise you that the not the EFCC now, but the DSS is actually investigating this? As OK. Williams said, look, this is a party affair, and whatever it is, the chairman of the party has not been accused of breaching the peace of this country. So does it surprise you that the DSS will be coming into this?
Yeah, I am shocked that it is the DSS that was invited into this. Maybe, just maybe, they're trying to avoid a situation where people who had petitioned the EFCC before now, written petition against Oshomole for financial infractions when he was a governor in Edo State. So they wouldn't want the EFCC, to take, all of the issues. So if you submit Oshomole to EFCC for investigation now for allegations of bribery, and so by extension, those people also, mind you, they are in court already. The court has granted them an order.
Of course, the court has ordered that
the processes be served on EFCC and Oshomole through substantive means, and so they might also pressurize the EFCC to use the opportunity to open the file, and so that's why
you're just guessing.
These are my conjectures, and so because really, I really don't see the DSS are not trained to investigate financial, infractions. So they're not trained.
They say that he allegedly collected bribes from them.
Yeah, people can read, meanings into this to say by extension that if there's breakdown, if these issues lead to breakdown of law and order, it might lead to national security. You're stretching it beyond, too far. One would have expected that EFCC, that is the statutory body responsible
or even the
to
police.
Investigate financial crime, or even the Nigerian police, statutorily responsible also to investigate allegations of bribery, should have been the one saddled with this responsibility of questioning, the national chairman. But in their wisdom, they are in government, so they probably felt, look, they want to be
But what do you make of all of this? I mean, for someone to basically come forward, a party member, and allege that he or she gave a bribe to the chairman, and basically the chairman didn't do his bidding?
I don't think that's the situation here. The allegations are the fact that he collected bribe from some, or the FROCN boss is one person who's been so vociferous. Osita Okechukwu also, who's been
that's Voice of Nigeria.
Yes, Voice of Nigeria, who's been so vociferous. I listened to him, at various fora, even on TV and his press briefing, and he's been
Because
so
he
vociferous.
actually lost.
He's raised grievous personal allegations, and and then the governor of Imo State. And Oshomole also had responded to some of these allegations. But I want to take us back a little bit to tell you that as permit me to use the word, let me apologize before using the word, as seemingly loquacious as Oshomole might sound, or as he looks like somebody who is power hungry, as that may seem, there is no way Oshomole would have conducted party primaries without crisis. Oyegu, if you also remember, that's why I said I want to take our mind back a little bit. If you remember the elections in Kogi, the election in Ondo, that led to the problem that Oyegu had with Tinubu until the exit of Oyegu. If you remember, there was no love lost. It was a public knowledge. There was no love lost between Oyegu and Tinubu. And even when Tinubu was appointed to reconcile, aggrieved members of the party, the allegations was that first and foremost, Tinubu would need somebody to reconcile him first before he would be able to reconcile others. And there were letters written to that effect. What was the cause or the crux of all of this crisis? Power. And so we're talking about just two states with that one. And then that led to the exit of Oyegu just before and then the party primaries conducted. You saw in almost all the states, they had parallel congresses, congress that were conducted. And so also, with that background, that recipe for chaos already prepared, anybody that inherited the national stool of the party was definitely going to also inherit those troubles. And it's when Oshomole came to quell the crisis and to dance to the tune of those that helped him.
But surprisingly, I mean, some of the guys fighting him now were the guys who actually
supported him. That's what I'm saying. So according to him, when he came on board, some of the things done by Oyegu, he redid them. But like the primaries that was conducted in Imo State. He surreptitiously handed back the party to Rochas. But Rochas should also understand that he can't have it all. Some of these people also need to understand that they can't have it all. And that's why I'm saying that no matter whoever, it's Oshomole today, maybe because he's loud and so people would think, oh yes, he has actually created all of this problem. Whoever it was, definitely there would have been problem because you already had parallel congresses. And so if he's able to resolve yours in your favor, then it's fantastic. Party solidly behind him. In areas where he's not able to resolve the crisis in favor of the governors, so you see that there's a problem. And that's why he's having problem in Ondo, because you remember Ondo was the primaries that led to the emergence of Akeredolu, and then also Ogun. We also know the crisis happening there, and then Imo State. And so that's basically what's happening, and it's the quest for power, innate ambition by our political leaders to, wrestle power. You can also say Oshomole is part of those. He's involved also because in Edo State also, he single-handedly, appointed nominated his successor. And, so it's just basically everywhere. It's happened in PDP when they were in power. And that's why you saw the massive walkout of PDP stalwart just before the 2015 election. So it's almost the same thing playing out here.
Okay, do you think that this crisis now, especially involving these 3 or 4 governors now, could cost the party the 2019 elections and probably bring down the current chairman of the party?
Well, I don't subscribe to the crisis, whittling down the fortunes of the party in 2019 election. Yes, it's a very big challenge. We all accept that. But I think that at the end of the day, we also get stronger. The test of any political party is a time like this. The truth of the matter is that no matter how it plays out, there must be reconciliation at the end of the day. But they are aggrieved, and Adams Oshomole, at the end of the day, will certainly come to the table and sort out all these things. And the truth is that I also expect the presidency to play a major role at times like this, because leaving it all alone to Adams Oshomole and the governors to fight it out might actually not do the party more good than harm. So I see something better, something good at the end of the day coming out of it. Definitely there won't be any victor, there won't be any vanquished. We have to play like brothers, same party, and get along.
But let me even come to your state, Imo State. Why do you seem to, it appears the problem is intractable, if you like. Why this heated politics in that state at the moment, especially with the APC?
Come again?
I mean, we talk about your state, Imo State. Why does it seem that, you can't find a solution to the problem of the politics of the APC in Imo State?
The reason is very simple. I think is a product of desperation. And too well, you know that when somebody has soiled his hands somewhere and his time is almost up, there is a tendency that desperation will come into it. And of course, that desperation will come with a crisis like this. But the truth of the matter is that we, the APC members in the state, are united, except the very few who align themselves with the present governor of Imo State. With or without the governor, we have said it several times, APC can stand in Imo State. The way I look at it now is that with all these troubles going up and down, I think there must be a third finger somewhere playing for APC not to win the election in 2019, using members of APC today. We are all aware of that. We are working on how to mitigate some of these issues. But I think it's a Herculean task for now, going by the court injunctions here and there. Of course, you know that in Imo, as we speak today, INEC published a list of candidates. Imo does not have any Guba candidate as we speak now, basically because of the court order that came yesterday evening to INEC. It's an issue. I think it's just to distract the party completely, because these people have made some comments in the past that if it is not us, if it is not my son-in-law, Imo State should forget about, APC Imo State should forget about winning. And I think that is where they are right now. But we pray it wouldn't be like that in 2019.
We're going to take a short break now. When we come back, Liborous, I want to find out from you what you think the president should be doing at this moment, to address some of these problems. So we'll take a short break and we'll be right back. On Deji 360, we don't just ask the questions. What is wrong with amending the Constitution the way the National Assembly members have been doing it? We seek answers.
Constitution is constituent.
Our problem is not lack of laws. Our problem is lack of the willpower to implement our laws.
Answers that provide clarity.
While we negotiate, we should try to make it a point that the girls must be complete.
The clarity you need to make informed judgment so that you can make the right decision and take action. People are saying it is you politicians that are responsible for this, that you are the reason why this is happening.
All these dollars that call themselves governors in this country?
I wish we had people like Tony at the National Assembly.
God forbid that I go to join that planet.
Deji 360, providing clarity to issues.